meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll start with department head updates. It looks like Rusty's up first. So.
Yeah, so the big news is today was our first day with our new hauler. That seems to have gone pretty well.
Excellent.
He came in, it won't be quite the same as if you don't have a driver phone number to call when you need something. You have to call dispatch, but they came in, checked out this place about maybe Thursday, and that was kind of their middle management guys, and then today was the driver who showed up. Nice guy, we showed him around, showed him we had to do what we've done in the past, and how the process kind of worked, we didn't see any issues, so picked up, did his thing. Going forward, we'll try to hit tandem loads, that's our saving grace in this. So. Other than that, we're coming off a really busy weekend with the end of Christmas and holidays, so Saturday was kind of nuts, but we got through it, and everything else just kind of business as usual. I'm glad when the cold snaps over. So, cold.
Great, good news.
Rusty, sorry.
Yeah.
Rusty, you want to update us on some maybe cold weather issues with the bags? Or what's happening with that?
So, social media, be it what it may, I kind of stay away from it, but there's a very lengthy back and forth with a handful of people that have had problems with bags. We've noticed that colder weather, the recycled plastic is not as flexible as we have in our past bags. We've spent a couple days, it's a lot of work, but we've taken sample bags, counted how many have come in, we've done testing on them to see, where they break, what weights they are, that kind of stuff. I'll probably present all that to you next time I'm in. And it's pretty consistent and pretty conclusive. I would say that from this, we clearly see that any bags that have a problem are in that kind of upper 30, starting to breach 40 pounds per bag. And our limit is 30, and it's always been 30. So I think the drawstrings kind of invite people to pack more into them. I think that causes some of it. And Trisha's crew has noticed, because they manhandle them, I mean, they grab them and put them up in the truck. And she said those bags that get really heavy, their hands tend to go through them because they're launching, 35, 40-pound bags into the truck. I worry more about our employees at that type of weight, throwing them over their shoulders to get them up in the truck. So, and we sometimes don't follow our own rule very well. I think at curbside of when it's over 30 pounds, leaving it. So I think people have gotten used to just kind of overstuffing things and packing them. So I'll have that kind of a neat little spreadsheet for everyone to see. Going forward, we have been talking to the vendor down in South Carolina about if there's anything we can do with what's there, and we're kind of discussing that back and forth now. So, to be determined. We're working on it.
Do you think the drawstrings are meant truly to close the bag and they're not meant to be handles?
Correct. And they clearly define that to us, that they are tied. The majority of the people that come in love it. People who don't like them are the ones who are trying to pick them up by the drawstring, and you can't, it's just a heat pleat, you can't do that. You couldn't tie it with a small tie and then pick it up by the tie either, it didn't work. So I think they're just doing it because it's the easiest way for them to grab it. So.
And you said something I want to go back to.
Yep.
Did we have a practice where if at curbside it was over 30 pounds, it wasn't taken?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Tell us more.
That's been that way since Pay As You Throw started. The old bag, I think going back a ways, the bag actually had printed on it, not to exceed 30 pounds. And I think this has been in play long enough that it's kind of like just faded and nobody's really paid attention. Trish, God bless her, picks up bags far over the 30-pound limit, and she's just done it. And I said to her, if that's your limit, and I said, I don't even know how people are throwing 30 pounds up over the ends of their truck. I mean, it's quite a test, but she does it, and everybody else does it. I said to her, should probably get back to leaving them and leaving notes for people, telling them. It's just like when she has something that's commingled in recycling, she leaves notes that says, you can't have that, corrected for the next time around. It typically gets corrected. But I talked to her about this specifically, and she said, we've not done a good job. She said, if they're really heavy, like 50 pounds, I'd leave them. And I said, well, 30 is the limit. She goes, I know. She said, I do it anyway. So,
But I guess my question on that is, you don't have a scale on the truck, you don't have, so you kind of guessing.
but I will tell you from 2 days, and it was an interesting exercise of actually picking these up and weighing them, you can pretty quickly tell what's over 30 pounds.
Yeah.
I can, after a rebuilt shoulder. By the time I hit 32, it's a struggle for me actually getting up and on the scale because we know. And I think Tricia's complaining about the same thing. She said, my arm's bad, you know. She said, when I'm picking them up, I know. So I think in the past, yeah, you're right, they don't have a scale, but if you see what I'm talking about,
I'm sure they,
you pretty quickly can tell the difference between a 25 and a 35 pound bag. I don't think she'd run it right on, hey, if it's 31 pounds, I'm gonna leave it. But by the time you're hitting 35, 37, we got a lot of bags coming in that were over 40 pounds. You know, and just have people just backing stuff in. So, yeah.
because my experience with the new bags is they do hold less. For whatever reason, there's less capacity to put stuff in them. So I'm finding it interesting, people are still jamming them. Have not had any issue with tearing so far.
I know, sure.
Yeah, like I said, we've canvassed people that come in, so I talk to them face to face. How do you like it? I just don't get what we see on social media. So I don't, that's when we started trying to measure to come up with the matrix. What's going
Yeah.
on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it what? And Trish did say when we suddenly started seeing single digits, it definitely, it tore easier, you know, when they were picking them up and tossing them. So, but she did tell me the vast majority of bags she finds sitting on curbside are not damaged, crows, but not damaged, no other than that. So I think the damaged ones that she has is from what they were doing with them, picking them up and tossing them. And the clear one, the problem was the ties were difficult, so people would just leave them open. So her complaint then was you had to try to get it closed and toss it up in there. It just became messy. So we thought the drawstrings were a great idea, you know, zip it shut, but you don't always see what people are going to do with it. And not everybody just ties them and uses them as a tie and then picks it up on the sides. They try to grab the strings and pull them up. And they just rip them. They're just heat seamed in. They just rip out. So.
I'm looking forward to hearing about the testing and what you come back with.
It was an interesting 2 days, Thursday and Saturday, especially because it was so busy on Saturdays. But we sampled, we weighed, we looked at, we did the matrix and as well. So, yeah.
Thank you.
End of year reports, basically. And I did rally and complete the USDA application for the storage tank project. So we're working on the public hearing process before I actually can submit it. And we've gotten the quotes for the cruiser for an equipment, the equipment grant for the cruiser. So I'll be working on that probably this week. I'll also be, I'm stealing Kaylee this week, so she's gonna go to the planning board meeting on Wednesday, and then I've already gotten a couple of cases that I'm gonna train her how to pair the case folders and go on from there.
That's great.
The, just any update on the congressional earmark that we were awarded
Oh,
for Northern
well, we know that we can get it, we know how to get it, we can't do anything until we have a match. So that would be town meeting.
And are we set with the ARPA documentation? We got that in by year end?
We do.
Congratulations. That's great.
Yeah, and I'll be drafting basically a procurement outline, what we did to make sure that we hit every bullet point. so that we can file that at the time when we have to file our annual.
Okay. That's great. That's great. Thanks.
Anything else?
No?
That's what we have from department heads.
Do you have anything from the Tims?
One of them is sick, so was anticipating hearing something. I have a feeling went home early. And then the other one, I think, is on the other roads.
Okay.
So, no appointments tonight?
No,
No public hearings tonight. We'll review the minutes from December 16th, 2024.
Make a motion to accept?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to accept the minutes from the December 16th, 2024 meeting as presented. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then we're gonna have paperwork to sign, timber tax warrants, intent to cuts.
the first is for a timber tax warrant, tax map R12, lot 4.
Two places?
Yes, two. I must.
Yep. Yep, intents to cut. I have 3 intents to cut, 2 for tax map R28, lot 1A and lot 1, and then 1 for tax map R12, lots 51 and 63.
It's 25.
Oh, 25, yeah. Thanks.
We also have 3 abatement requests this evening. One is for townwide poles to Northern New England Telephone. The abatement was, the first issue bill was overbilled when the assessment changed for the second billing. So it's an abatement amount of $2,918. The second abatement is for tax map P09, lot 71, in the amount of $219 for the first issue of the 2024 property tax. The first issue bill was overbilled when the assessment changed for the second billing. And the third is for tax map P09. Oh, this is
It's the same,
duplicate?
2 separate properties. One
Okay.
was 071, one's 072.
Okay. Tax map P09, lot 72, for the amount of $219, the 2024 property tax first issue. The first issue bill was overbilled when the assessment changed for the second billing.
That'll bring us to new business.
Yes,
Approval for a building off a Class 6 road.
yeah, so before you this evening, we have an land use permit application for a building off of tax map R05, lot 8. Per RSA 67441, if a building is constructed off a Class 6 highway, the local governing body, after review and comment, can take action. So we're looking for action from you this evening, to allow the approval of a building off of Causeway Street, with a mention that the town will not maintain the Class 6 road past the gate.
I just want to point out that typically I approve these if there's already buildings out there. And technically there are some camps out there, but this is actually, the foundation's already built and it looks like it's going to be having utilities. Looks like there's a water line. And so I didn't feel comfortable approving it and getting the waiver of liability. Plus, the statute does say that new construction, like off of Class 6 roads, requires the permission of the Board of Selectmen.
And I just want to confirm, it's not on town forest land. We looked at the tax maps, but I want to confirm. Based on this little picture, it's
Yeah.
questionable, but the tax maps show it's not on town forest land. Okay. So what do you need for a motion to approve a building with access off of Causeway Street?
Yes. And to also gate it that.
And the, and
Waiver.
the waiver, the town will not be maintaining that road? Make a motion?
I'll second it.
Sorry about
A motion and a second to approve the building off of Causeway Street as long as we get the liability waiver.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. And then we've got Lancaster Estates Mobile Home Park, water and sewer base fee charge request.
So the email states what they're looking for.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. We have voted in the past to, it's been voted on by the board, not necessarily this board, but several years back, that if there was not a building on the property, then they did not need to receive a water sewer bill at all, even base fee. That started back when Mechanic Street was upgraded with water and sewer and new paving, when they put the curb stops in on those vacant lots because they wanted the curb stops in to solve any problems with any future development, not digging into the street. So those curb stops put on empty lots, those property owners brought it to the board's attention that we haven't had to pay water and sewer, and now there's a curb stop there, and you may want to charge us water and sewer. It was voted on, if there was not a building on the property to utilize water and sewer, then no charge would be given. So some buildings have been torn down, and we've stopped charging. So now I guess you've been fed that information. You guys could decide what should happen with the park.
How many lines from the group?
The park has 2 meters, one on Cup Street, one on Fourth Street. But they're telling us that as far as I know, there's 40 lots in that park. It sounds like that they're saying 37.
37.
They may have discontinued, or there might be some double lots, I don't really know, but 37, 40. They're saying what, 19 are not used, 18 are?
18 are vacant.
18.
18, also the other way around.
Yep.
How would we know if we agree to this, how would we know when one became,
Well, they should be applying for a building permit to place a house.
so that would
And
trigger?
they put in I think two slabs recently that were not permitted, so I need to follow up on that, but yes, they are supposed to come to me for a permit.
So then we would add them back in to get
Yeah.
in.
So
Well,
Robin
they've
would,
got-
I mean, if you decided to go that way, then
Yeah.
Robin would advise me that a home is going in, and then we should
They've
be
got
adding.
2 lines with 2 meters that covers the charges for the properties.
No,
But,
sort of, but no.
no, but I mean, that's what feeds the properties.
Yes.
And then they're charged a per lot fee.
They're charging you, yeah, just like any apartment house or multifamily unit. Apartment houses are charged, like across the street has 24 units, they're charged the 23 units. They have 1 meter.
There's 36 lots on the GIS.
That was a
Thank you.
point of
36.
contention that I've gone through the lawyers back and forth. I can tell you how many lots there are if I review the file, but it was less than the 41. I believe the 37 is accurate. It's the agreement that I made with the attorney,
Yeah, and I
based
have,
on the old site plan.
and I have an old map, so it's very, there's no doubt in my mind.
So the other question I have, now obviously it's a mobile home park, but they're in the business of renting lots. Someone that owns an apartment building goes, I'm only renting 3 of my 5 apartments. Are we now gonna lower their
There's,
per unit fee?
What's their volume?
Well, if I understand Charity right, it was only, the town has done this in the past because of a vacant building lot. Is that
Yes.
correct? So it's, an apartment building would be a totally different setting, right?
Well, you
I can
you
see
could
your
stretch
point.
that, I mean,
I can see his point.
okay, I've got 10 apartments in my house, I've only rented 5.
5. Waive the other 5 that aren't
A mobile
filled.
home park's in the business
Well,
of renting lots.
I suppose.
Yeah, they're not renting,
I
If you-
renting a
yeah.
lot.
They moved their trailer off the lot,
Yeah.
so, I mean, we're gonna keep going up and down on,
Yeah, I was just looking at an empty vacant lot rather than a building that already.
but I'm looking at it as, if I own that business, I'm trying to rent them lots, because that's where I make my money.
So they're being charged the base rate, no usage.
Correct.
Yeah, just the
The
base.
usage is whatever goes through the meter for people that are there.
And a residential base rate?
Yes.
Versus commercial. Yeah, I see a precedent that could be set that would be something we might not want to.
I mean, that's
Consider.
kind of my concern, is you
Yeah.
set a precedent like that, especially it is a business that,
It's a
Yeah.
for-profit. Oh, no, they're a co-ownership, what are they then?
Are they?
I don't think they're gonna go up.
They're not the co-op, they're not a
No.
co-op. So
No.
it's a for-profit
That- that-
organization that runs it?
Yeah, I was looking here.
No, I don't,
It's an LLC.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we need to take a formal vote on that. What would be your preference? A formal vote, or just,
Just that we're not interested in
we're
changing.
not interested
We
in?
won't take the matter up. How do you do it? We can't make a negative motion, right?
I don't think so, just,
You can make a motion, turn it down. I don't know how to do this.
their fee, we're not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2 weeks, if they put 2 more trailers in, are they gonna come and tell us, oh, we've got 2 more trailers, and so now our rate's going up?
Yeah.
Another week later,
And
someone
then how do
moves
you
it.
prorate that?
Right.
Yeah, so I just say,
Maintain
No,
current bill.
maintain the-
Yeah.
Yep.
I make a motion that we maintain the existing billing structure for the Lancaster Estes Mobile Home Park, water and sewer.
give a second.
I'll second.
I've got a second. A motion and a second to maintain the base fee charged to Lancaster Estates Mobile Home Park. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Boy Scouts exemption application.
Okay.
Somebody got some history on this?
there's a memo before you. from the assessor.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
All right, no, I didn't know if it was something that, looks like the paperwork was submitted late. Is that correct?
Yes, it
The
looks
way I'm
like
looking at it?
it was not only late, it was incomplete.
Okay.
I don't know much about that, but I do want to at least point that out.
Okay.
I did notice that in your application, they marked themselves as educational as opposed to charitable. I don't know how it's been marked in the past. If it has been charitable, then yes, they're required to file the A12 form. But they did mark educational this time, so I'm not sure if that form, and if they qualify under that, that form is required,
So maybe it's not incomplete,
possibly,
it's just possibly wrong.
possibly.
Okay. And not signed? Oh, no, it is signed.
It is signed.
It's
It is
signed, but
signed,
it didn't
yeah.
come in by the date. Yeah. It looks like according to the RSA, we must deny. And we do send out reminders to our
It
charitable.
is not required, however,
We do.
I do send the forms to all of our current exempt properties. And however, that is not something that is required. It is their obligation to submit their paperwork. But
Well,
but
thank
it
you.
was sent last year.
Thank you for doing more than what's required. And you did this, you sent this out.
Yes.
I don't know if we need to make a specific motion on this too, about the exemption application, I deny it. Is that a motion?
I would probably make a motion to deny granting the exemption.
Okay, I make a motion to deny the Boy Scouts exemption application, charitable exemption application for 2024, based on application being untimely receipt.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second to deny the charitable organization exemption for Boy Scouts due to an untimely application. Any further discussion? Okay. Just got a little bit of heartburn.
Sure,
I'll do it.
well, sure.
It's Boy Scouts.
It's an all-volunteer organization, got a
Yeah.
0.1 acres with a very rough cabin on it the last time I was up there. What is the value that is set on this?
I haven't been able to find that.
That's,
Where? Am I looking at it right and don't see it, or?
Yep.
That's the taxes, I believe. You're doing the math in your head. Carnival math, as Rusty would say.
What's it, Audrey?
It should just be Boy Scouts. Should give you this boy. Oh, yeah, that one. Sorry, it's under troops. So the assessed value is 27,900. I think the tax bill is like around 500 and something.
500 and something?
500 and some odd dollars?
The,
Have they ever been late before?
No.
Did they have change of leadership?
No.
no, he's been, the thing, I'm just wondering because by the RSA, we've got to turn this down.
Correct.
But is there a way that we could tell them to come in and ask for an abatement, to give them an abatement?
You mean appeal your decision?
No, I'm not appealing the decision, just
Oh.
that we could write the taxes.
Oh, abate the taxes. I mean, they can submit it, and I'm sure they can submit an appeal by, and appeal their assessment.
Well, wait, this was from the last year.
2024. 2024's appeal process is in force right now. You can't apply for an abatement until after the second issue tax bill, the notice of tax, which is the second issue tax bill, until March 1st of the next year.
March 1st. Yeah. Right, I'm catching up. Okay.
Yep,
I'm just, it's not a high dollar organization, especially up here. So that's all. So I'm just figuring out a way to meet the RSA and not. Can we get a little more information on that, on what we can possibly do?
did they actually take a vote?
Did you motion?
No.
We haven't taken.
We haven't
a
taken
vote
Made a
yet.
motion, we're still in discussion.
No one seconded the, no, did you second the
I
motion?
seconded
This
it.
motion
So
was
it's
But
seconded.
it
We got a motion in
And
a
a
second.
second.
to
We're in
discuss it.
discussion.
But he's
We're
discussing.
discussing it. I was just wondering where we were
Yeah.
at with this process.
Discussion.
Okay, thank you.
So I mean, if we could get a little more information on what we could do to try to help them out. By the RSA, we can't accept this,
Mhm.
but I think we should try to help them out if we can possibly do that. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of denying, signify by saying aye.
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 Do they have property there or just a cabin?
0.1 acres, it says.
So, that doesn't seem to show up on the tax maps and stuff, is that? Suppose how does your trailer get taxed if you don't own the property?
It's
Built-
R-1353.
It's a little tiny square on the tax
No, I
map.
mean, is there a separate list for buildings?
I mean, like, it's minuscule.
Buildings that don't have,
In certain areas, if you own a building, I know up in Pittsburgh, because you have camps that are on, the person who owns the camp gets taxed on the camp, and it's the other owner that gets taxed on the land.
I just wondered where was the building listed? At the airport, all the hangars are owned by people, but the land is owned by Whitefield. And Whitefield
Right.
collects tax on the building. Just wondered how that would be.
If a building is assessed separately to a different owner, it's in our assessment system separately. It's labeled as a building only.
Oh, so you would look on the great big 207-page assessment list and dig them out somehow?
Yes, under troop number 1, Boy Scouts of America. That's what Jessica just did.
It's 219.
Whatever. That's what Jessica just did.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I think it's troop 1 originally and who owns the property. Troop 219 is the existing troop here. So I don't know what the deal is, but the ownership has that.
We will move on to setting a date for revisions of police ordinances.
Yeah. Are we thinking after town meeting? Or does he need that before?
I think after.
Afterward.
Yeah.
I would think that would be
Yeah.
best.
And those require public hearing that we could do the same night?
Yes.
You want to do the first meeting in April?
Okay.
Yes, if that works for everyone.
April 7th.
April
for
7th.
Time.
April 7th, if that's the first meeting, we'll have a work session prior and then,
And then we'd go in and we'll have a public hearing?
At 6:30.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's in the select board chambers.
Right here.
Perfect.
Okay. Public hearing, okay.
Anything else that needs to be brought under new business?
I have one question. Where are we with Leo Rideout Jr.'s abatement request? I know that came in and he had some concerns from last year.
During the election there, he
Right.
talked to us.
And I don't think it's come forward to us.
I haven't seen it.
No, but I think it's, what I don't, I think we have a process issue that we've got to address.
Yeah, so the assessor has so many days to respond to that, so I can look back to see when it was delivered to him.
Okay.
He has till July 1st. The assessor has, or you as the assessors, have till July 1st
Yep.
to make your decision. If it's not made, it's considered an automatic denial.
You're talking about July 1st of 2025.
Because this is, well,
Leo, I think, is talking about last year.
2023, right?
Yes, we're still, yes. So we are talking about something a year ago,
Yeah, you're right.
so.
Yeah.
So there's no movement on it?
I mean, I think we're sitting in a situation where he says he's brought it in, and I think our assessor never received it. And I think we've got to clean up a process, but I don't know what to do in between to try to rectify it, other than say it came in untimely because we just got it for 2023. And can we count that for 2024? I don't know, but I feel like we need to address this. I'm not looking at you.
We need
No,
to,
I'm gonna,
You're over there.
we need to
I can't
answer
speak on
something.
that as a member of the board, but if you deny it because it wasn't here on time, that's not gonna go over well because it was here on time.
And this is the issue with the process. We have no way to show. I don't want to say I don't believe him, because I do. But we can't prove that. Jason's saying he never got it. I want to believe him too. I feel like we're in this.
Is
It would
maybe
be beneficial.
something where you stamp and give a receipt when something comes in, if that would be a new policy?
That would be a new process that we
good-
need.
Good for the future.
That would be good moving forward. It puts us in a little of a quagmire right now, because,
When appeal applications come in, with the receipt.
I'm sorry, what?
I will tell you, when appeal applications come in, they are marked received and put in Jason's pocket.
So
We
when
can
they come
also
in,
see-
can they, so maybe the new process, can they only come in to, I'll say, a window as opposed to somebody's office, like the town manager? If they had been dropped off at the town manager's office, like maybe the process needs to be, it's official, just like you do car registration or some sort of permit. I mean, I feel like something is lost, and I don't know I don't know how to address this.
Obviously, there's an issue there, but
Yes.
just stamping the application itself is great, but it does nothing for the landowner, because he still has nothing,
He doesn't have the receipt with the
Get a
stamp
receipt.
on it.
right, he has nothing to say,
No,
yeah,
he didn't.
I was here and I brought it in on this day.
Right, it's not like an email where there's a date and time stamp, it's when
Right.
someone walks it in, so.
There's ways to digitize that though, so I agree with you that I work on a process in place
For this new
you
season.
for how we should do this.
So
to
if you
make
turn
sure
that
it's
in, you're
kept.
turning it into the assessing board, which is you guys, and your clerk is, so, I mean, where would they officially turn it in? To you, Charity, as the town clerk, or?
Well, I suppose they could, but it goes to the assessor's office and that is there.
Well, but this is
Well,
the
it actually goes
assessing
to
board
Jason.
right now.
Agreed,
Well,
so
it-
that's why she's saying, what process are we gonna take?
Again.
Is the town manager
I'm trying to
as
help.
their whatever, or should it come to the clerk's window? Where should it go? I
So-
guess that's the decision.
And I guess the other thing on that is, again, you always need backups, because if someone comes in, Charity's not out, Charity's at a training or something, do we send them away and say,
That's why I said to
And
the
again,
window,
it's a-
does it go to one of the
and it's a
windows?
time-
Right, and
process.
they also date it and put it into Jason's things, so, or on my desk, which then goes into Jason's.
And maybe they can then give the receipt back to the
And a receipt
to
can be
the-
issued.
person who's bringing it in.
So it just sounds like you need a receipt.
Yeah, I think we're addressing two issues. One's process that we can fix moving forward.
Yes.
One is an issue that is open right now that we haven't addressed officially, and I don't know how to address it. And I'm just trying to figure that out.
Normally, it is brought to our windows, not to the town manager.
Not to the town manager's office.
Normally, but some don't necessarily stop there.
So if we create the process and.
We've actually had several that have gone straight past our window, right to the town manager's office to have things
And the
taken
town
care of.
manager's gonna
So-
say, no, no, no.
And that can be, but
Yeah, but again, I don't know how to address the one that is
It's
sitting
out
out
Right.
for the year that's gone by, the dates have been missed, and neither side is saying, you know, I don't know how to meet in the middle, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what latitude we have, I don't know how this works.
You can ask for, have we received an official response from the assessor? If not, you can ask.
Could we get an official response from the assessor, please? Do I ask you that?
Like, if you motion it, then like, it's official action.
I make a
I-
motion.
Yeah, he's out.
Oh, yeah, you're
I'm
out.
out.
All right, so are you the chairman?
Yeah, make me a motion.
Okay, so I make a motion that we ask for an official response from our assessor regarding the 2023 Leo Rideout Jr. Assessment reevaluation request? Is that what it's called? Charity?
Abatement request?
Abatement request.
All right, I'll second it.
You're the chair.
Yep.
All in favor?
Can the chair second it?
Yeah, but you have to say all in favor.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah. Well, you were looking at me funny like,
Yeah, right.
maybe I can't do that. But there's only two of us.
But there's only two of us, that's right. Oh, where is that
Okay.
document? Okay,
Anything else?
no.
No.
Did we check the server to see if it was scanned?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We wouldn't have scanned it. I don't know if Ben would have scanned it, is that what you're
I
wondering?
think that's what I'm wondering is.
Because it was
search
told that it was
Rideout or
given to
something.
Ben, right, the town manager?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe.
Wouldn't that be?
You have access, that would be fabulous, you have
Yeah.
access to that?
I do, but I don't believe there were any like historical scans.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
And
Thank you.
we'll move on to the land use change tax abatement request under old business for Daniel Morris.
Yes, so you'll find a memorandum in front of you from the assessor explaining, findings, and you'll see at the bottom of page 2, his recommendations for you this evening.
I really appreciate that Jason wrote up this additional information from when Mr. Morris came in. Gives a lot of the background, and interesting to see that Ben had gone out with Jason and had met with Mr. Morris about this in the fall of 2023, so. I will make a motion that the town send the property owner the BTLA form land use change tax abatement application, along with a copy of the memo that we have.
That's it?
Yes.
I'll second it.
The motion and a second to send the land use change tax abatement application to the property owner. Is it?
Along with the memo that Jason wrote,
And with
this memo that
the
Jason wrote.
memorandum
Yeah.
that he wrote.
Yeah.
Is there any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay.
And then we've got agreement with Davidge.
Yes, so December 23rd, Selectman Beatty and I met with Mr. Davidge regarding 2 parcels out on Mount Prospect Road. And we're pleased to present to you tonight a proposed survey plan, which I'm not sure is where it's waiting for you.
So, this you coming up?
So basically,
This is the hedges right here?
This is for parcels R23 Lot 3 and R27 Lot 1.
edges in there. So basically, he's proposed to set the road down
Yeah.
right there. This is all new. There'll be a lot line adjustment.
Oh,
Is
so the
that
curve
so-
would be here,
Yes.
down here.
It'll be down there.
Okay, that's quite a bit of fill. Doesn't that
Yeah,
kind of
there
go,
is.
yeah, he'll do that?
He'll do This will not cost the town anything.
Okay.
Make that very clear.
Now, because this looks like something that came in at one time and was rejected,
I don't think it ever came to the
No,
select
no,
board.
it's never been.
this is years ago,
Oh, years ago, maybe.
there was a proposal to make,
This is 2004.
This is a
to
revision.
make the Prospect Road come straight out,
Mhm,
and that's basically on the main road,
mhm.
and a lot of people did not like that. It's a dangerous intersection.
Well, it makes it better. Brown, I took Tim Brown out there as well, and it was designed by by the engineer that used to be the state engineer, District 1.
Richard Boulanger?
No, it would be Dick Long.
Okay.
This guy revised the drawing,
Okay.
okay? So this has plenty of line of sight. Tim Brown agreed that it was better than where it is as far as entrance for him access.
I don't think we can sign this agreement without state, that's a state road. You're changing an intersection on a state road.
I don't think so.
I can't hear that.
That's
East Whitefield Road?
I didn't think
I
it was
still
a
need
state
to-
road.
East Whitefield, East Whitefield?
I
That's town
don't
road.
think so.
Hold on, Old Whitefield Road and.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so this isn't, okay, no.
No, this is-
I was thinking this was the main road.
Oh, no.
Hedge right there.
Okay. No, so it was my confusion, my confusion.
No, this is.
I was thinking this was the main road.
Yeah.
This is the fire pond, okay.
Yeah.
Now it makes more sense.
Okay,
This is going towards Rob's.
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
I just want to mention, that's quite a drop down there. So
That's what I'm
if
saying,
you're
it's
trying to
gonna be a lot
improve
of fill.
visibility, how would you do that?
Well, they're gonna build this up, they're gonna start back here, and that's
We're
all
gonna have
gonna
to
be
add a
filled.
lot of fill.
He's gonna fill that all in.
This,
And so they're gonna have to fill way down here too, because I mean, that drops off.
As this is, yes, it's
That's a
going,
lot.
it's gonna, you're gonna see right here, this is the edge of the fill, so yeah,
Yep.
it's a fair amount of fill.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
fair
So
amount.
East Whitefield Road,
Tremendous hill right here now.
Yep,
Right on top of the hill is a tremendous hill.
Yep.
And if you fill here, you're gonna make that hill even more.
yeah,
and
we have to
that's not
take
East
it.
Whitefield, that's Old East Road.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna see this lowered a little bit, to compensate. The existing road's gonna be sitting up a little bit, so they took a happy medium grade
Oh, okay.
to make that transition
All right,
equal.
I said this before, and you said he was gonna trim them, but from here
Yeah.
to here,
Yeah,
trees are
Right.
growing out
And
in
that-
the right of way.
and we
He
had-
never trimmed them.
no.
I'm sorry, he never trimmed them.
And that is being addressed.
Yeah.
Well, you said it was gonna be
I-
taken care of.
yeah.
And it's been 2 years.
And
nothing
unfortunately,
is
yeah,
done.
well, this has been 25 years or 30 years in the making.
Well, it has, and I don't believe the town should be moving the road in pursuit of him.
Yeah, but it's not
He's
costing
supposed
the town
he's
anything.
supposed to pay it, right?
Well, you put a dog leg in your road and.
No, yeah, not really, I mean, there's already a sweep and turn right
Like the
there.
dog leg on Bridge Street. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Okay,
there.
guys.
Yeah,
Well,
You should not kowtow to somebody about a hedge that he illegally planted and that is illegal. You don't show the hedge because you're trying to say this isn't the issue. This building is far too close to the road because
it's
it's
just less than 51 feet.
less than
between
a
the
setback.
building
And then we got a hedge here. This is a one-lane road because he's refused to trim his hedge and nobody will make him do it. And I think you guys are very lax in your jobs. We're not having him trim this. And he said that he was gonna trim it a year ago, Shane, and it didn't happen. It
Well,
didn't happen.
there's some feeling that.
why does he-
Constantly installing it out is what he's doing.
Yeah, just installing it and going, kicking
And
that
John's
down the
right,
road.
so I
That's
don't
the old,
think that-
the damn trees are on the right of way.
Okay.
The stem of the tree is in the right of way.
Okay,
So if he,
comments have been made.
for him to trim that, he'd have to trim it right up to the stalk.
So he's trying to avoid trimming by moving the road down.
Used to be a-
My only
It's
concern is
cost.
it's so steep right there that once you move that down, you still got a drop
This
off.
whole thing is not addressing this hedge. Here,
yeah, no, this is an improvement, yeah.
not addressing this.
Well, this
who
will
are
be,
we
this has to
gonna
be
have to
approved
make
at.
sure that,
Correct the work, you mean?
yeah, kind of a,
So we're in the process. Robin has got to find somebody to do some clerking for us,
Why doesn't
so
always land on
we will, we will also include that guy into that. Yes, Robin?
So
Well, yes, they may.
is this going to turn out to be a lot line adjustment?
We will have to have a lot line adjustment.
Okay, so then my concern for you guys tonight is RSA 4114 requires a recommendation from the Conservation Commission, from the Planning Board, and then to you guys. If we had a Historic Commission, we'd have to get one from there too, before you can make a decision.
Oh, they have to do
So
it
Wednesday
first?
night, I am planning on bringing this case for consultation to the planning board. Then the next Monday, I'm going to bring it to the Conservation Commission. So if I can get drafted letters of recommendation to you guys to go ahead with this, then I noticed that the memorandum is requiring that the property owner pay for the survey, and he's going to have a full-blown survey done, because he's gonna need new pins and everything
Exactly.
for, so I think that the recommendation will come so long as we know that that is going to be pending action.
And it has to be by the town, a town meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, this is all
This is
contingent
all-
on
This is all
voters.
contingent on that.
on
We
top
just
of
get
Right.
everything.
I just
Yeah.
didn't know if you knew the steps before you could sign the agreement.
So if we just cut the hedge.
I didn't know that, so thank you.
Yeah.
I thought we might be able to sign this
Not
tonight,
tonight.
but we cannot. Okay,
Not ready.
okay, thank
So
you.
put it on the next agenda, and I will have completed everything.
Okay. So I see these dates, Jessica, so that, like, these were the dates, Lancaster Planning Board for application lot line
Yes.
adjustment. I was worried about that date.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Conservation Commission, so that makes sense, though. Okay. So this will just get moved to the
To
next
another day.
meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
We find something to have on the budget.
Yeah, so he revised that. He actually took,
Put gas and a half on the line.
I don't know what you mean. What are you
so,
talking about? What
Sign
sign?
damage.
On what sign?
so
Big hour or something.
Richard Monona designed that, and he spelled it
Under
all.
Old agreement.
It's an agreement. Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys have some questions?
Just read over some of the notes.
I know, I know.
So I wonder, actually,
Well, somebody took it down.
sign that agreement before town meeting.
Because you can't
We
come
may
up
not
with
be.
range maps. You have to type in your
We
range.
may
It
not-
is contingent on,
Oh, I gotta call
Yeah.
Mapping guy about that.
So we're just getting everything in
The
order
easiest
to present to
Put
the
the
town.
old,
To move
restore
forward.
the old plot as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
So Robin can give an update at the next meeting, but there's no action that we would even take at the next meeting. Did you hear that, Robin?
What, I'm sorry.
You'll give an update at the next meeting, but we don't think we can take action until after the town meeting, right? It would have to be approved by the voters before we'd sign anything.
The voters will have to grant the authority to.
To,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to sign at this point.
You'll have the recommendations from
Right.
the commission,
Right.
and you can say that at town meeting. But if you read it, it actually does say that you guys can vote basically on your recommendation.
A recommendation for the warrant article,
Right.
that we, if we recommend the warrant article.
Oh, yeah, no, no. We're off the state.
They shut it down
Oh,
before. they-
wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we cannot take action on that tonight, but new information and progress in a way, so on something that's been a thorn in everyone's side for,
Been an ongoing thing. And hopefully, we're close to resolve.
Another one you should address is along the Pleasant Valley Road where the grader has moved the road over because of the hedge growing in the right of way.
Are you familiar with that?
That one I'm not.
Oh, by Brian Doyle's house. But Bishop Hill, take a right, and before you get to the road on the left. Oh, you've got to have seen it. The grader bears left every time he grades the road because he's gonna break his windows if he
Goes.
stays in the road. It's very obvious, the road moved over 10 to 15 feet.
What
over
road,
the
Evan?
years because of this.
Huh?
Pleasant Valley Road.
Just before
Is that by Chessman's or not
Oh,
that far?
okay.
Not as far as distance, not as far as the,
Yep.
not as far as the intersection.
You're gonna bring this to the planning board, you said?
Yeah, it's not on our agenda, but I'm gonna add it I've already notified them that we'll have an added consult for Wednesday night, so.
And it's also gotta go before the Conservation Commission?
Yes, so.
Because it's
I
a
haven't-
scenic road.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
Scenic road.
Okay, so I think those two boards should also
Weigh in, yep,
weigh in. Perfect.
okay.
Anything else under old business? Seeing none, we'll go on to select board members' reports.
I have nothing for tonight.
I do. Okay. Do we have, as part of our procurement policy and process, do we have anything about our surplus equipment or other assets and how we dispose of them?
Not in procurement.
Oh, right, that would make sense. Okay, procurement and disposal.
Yeah.
But, okay, but what I'm thinking is, you know, what kind of, you know, what we need to put in place and more importantly, the practices surrounding whatever we develop. And I've been thinking about a few things that have happened recently, and part of it was the lovely chairs from downstairs and the old chairs. I don't know where they went, but they could be of value to somebody. Okay, or like the recent clean out at the community camps that the fire department did. I don't know if there's anything of value or utility of what was removed, but you know, would we consider some sort of public auction like a state would do for our surplus things, and we could invite other communities to participate, and we would get a portion of the sales of their things, and I think that it would be transparent. I think it would be competitive bidding, drives up prices, quite honestly, and we could probably make it some sort of fun event, but I also think some of these things may have a value and a utility, and trying to get that money back that the taxpayers purchased is something that we could attempt to do. Rob, I swear to God, you never let me finish speaking. I'm ignoring you right now. So if it's something, and I don't know when this could start, there's a lot on our plates, I know that, but I also thought of it when I think I saw that Tim Brown was maybe getting a power washer. I don't know if we have an existing power washer, but there's things here. And I don't know how we go about it. I don't know if we're hoarding this stuff somewhere. I'm trying to kind of solve all of these things at once, and how could we do that?
For vehicles, it's always been advertised,
Just in the paper,
a competitive bid
yeah.
process. It usually does not garner
Right.
big bids. As a matter of fact, one time, not too long ago, we did not accept a bid because we didn't think it was enough. Put the bid back out in the paper again. And it cost us more money to put the ad in the paper than out of the vehicle. So there's things that need to be revised, but again, you brought up the thing, are we hoarding it? Do we have a place to store it until we could have an auction? Or does it just come down to something on the internet? Hey, we've got 40 chairs down here. We're looking to get X number of dollars for each chair. If you're interested, come on down. Other than that, it's hard, especially if you can't store it. I mean, the state of New Hampshire literally has a huge field and barn where they store vehicles and they store this stuff down by Concord. We don't have that, especially for stuff that would need to be kept inside. So I'm not sure
what's happening to it?
That would be an
Like, are we
addition
keeping it somewhere now inside, or what's happening?
that I don't know with the chairs and stuff.
I mean, they're scrap metal, people will pay for. People will repurpose things. I feel like we haven't been very transparent, and I know the idea of paying for them, ad in the paper is expensive, but, could we create something that becomes something later on, becomes a fun event, becomes something, I'm talking, you guys, It's my select board report, you guys know. But is it something that, is it the right thing to do?
Maybe we should give it some more thought in how we would implement it, how we would go about it.
And I don't know what might be available. I don't, but like just the ambulance, that's gonna go away if a new one is purchased, or if there's old fire hoses that maybe are no longer, can be certified, but a company would use, for
Something
profit.
than just water or something.
Right, I don't even know what all the things are that we have. I'm not a public works
Well,
person.
I don't
per se.
think we do either. to be
Well,
honest.
probably
Probably
not.
scary to think of all the stuff that's.
But,
I mean,
It's a good thought.
Shouldn't that be included in an asset inventory, or we only is the asset inventory that we have only what we use?
I think it's only what we're using functionally.
Okay.
The asset inventory we have is a depreciation policy inventory.
Okay.
Because I
It's
don't,
capital asset depreciation policy.
I
So
don't,
if
so
it's
it's just what we
depreciated to
have.
zero,
If
it
it's-
would not be on that list.
right.
It's still on the list at 0 until we dispose of it, and then I take it off the list.
Because if you go up to the sand shed or sand pile, you'll see some wings, some plows. I don't think that's even listed on
No,
stuff like that.
no.
that would probably be definitely somebody that into scrap steel. would-
No, but
again, it has value or utility to somebody, maybe not in the condition it is, or certainly not to another town, but to somebody. I mean, I'm way out of my league. I'm just trying to figure this
I'm
out.
not trying to, we used to keep fire hoses until the damn things burst, but now they get a certain age and you have to get rid of them. So, yeah, maybe somebody that had some kind of business pumping water or something can use them.
at low pressure, you know.
But we can't. I don't know if there's really a good answer to your question.
So I don't hear no.
No, I think we should keep exploring it.
I'll be glad to.
Think of
Jess?
it as like a Q325 goal, like
Sure.
push it out, yeah, a little bit. Allow us to, we were even talking about sandbags and
Right,
ropes and those
exactly.
sorts of things,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
put a pin in it, circle back.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
And
That's the end for me.
nothing I can think of right now. We'll go to the town manager's report.
Alrighty, it's kind of a short one for me. I've been pretty heads down. Lieutenant Matthews, there was an incident at Lancaster Elementary School via Snapchat, kind of unfounded, but Lieutenant Matthews was at a detail at Lancaster Elementary School today. The reports for the town report are due to the town office no later than January 22nd for inclusion in the report. We've updated the highway and police department fleet information with the DOT so that we can use the DOT fuel pumps if necessary. We received the signed Causeway contract, which you guys already heard of, and the bond and certificate of insurance information. There's no FEMA update from my contacts, however, I did reach out to them because there is an issue on Garland Road as the brook keeps jumping the bank. So I put that out to them whether or not that's a mitigation effort we can work towards using this disaster effort. So.
Was the repair work at the public highway building done?
Yes, they were trying to get cement today for the last pour.
Oh, good.
I did not see Tim to find out if they were able to get it from Carol or not. And then they've got some, Wilco will come up and finish the welding. Yeah.
Excellent. So close on that, sounds like.
Yep.
When Wilco comes, are they also doing the fire escapes?
I don't know, did we authorize that?
No, we have not.
Okay. It's been looked at.
We've received 2 quotes, yep.
Well, that was just one of the action items on the safety
Yes.
inspections.
And the railing out here.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, that one.
Sturdy it is. And that's all we have. We have other information in the packet. I actually haven't read that. Top dog
Yeah,
incentive.
who's doing the top dog incentive?
We are, town clerk's office,
Cool.
trying to get people in, register their dogs.
Yep.
Zoom in on that, Zach.
What was that now?
Top dog, come register your dog by the deadline, April 30th. We'll add your dog's name into a raffle drawing.
Now,
Get him a nice basket of goodies.
does the exempt service dog get to register too?
He comes to get a tag.
Okay.
Don't you usually come get a tag for him?
You know it, there
Okay.
it is.
Yep.
What's it gonna shape be this year?
But I don't know, it might be tight.
It's usually
Yeah.
And then we got a notice, planning board meeting on January 8th, 2025 at 6:30. There's driveway permits, a New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services fire forestry statutory permit by notification, tax map R20 lot 9, land use permits at 1 Pleasant Street, 62 Meadow Pond Road, 16 Sunny View Drive, and at 44 Sand Street. That's that, and then we'll move on, public comments. Yes?
Well, I have a couple, 3 things. I already mentioned it to Robin. It used to be really great. You know, we have that new GIS system, but the old one, when you looked at it, you could see the range maps. And now it's not clear what the ranges are anymore, so I asked if those things could be reinstated to the,
Like top of,
Yeah, I don't know why they are not visible.
there used to be a link to both of them, and I'm sure it's a clutter, but it was convenient. I wanted to secondly ask about the status of the small claims court case concerning Troy Murner. Has that been, what's the situation on that? Has it been filed or?
Yep, it's been filed, and we received receipt of, it was been served to the individual, so we're just waiting to hear a date.
Good one. And KJ, I want to apologize for raising my hand. I'm going to still do it because it's the chairman's prerogative to recognize or not. And I'm doing better. I'm keeping my mouth shut. Okay. But the last thing I wanted to mention is, you know, there is a disposal policy. I think the select board has handled it really well on a case-by-case basis, like when we gave the ambulance to Littleton Hospital, that brought up, you guys made the decision. There is a policy at the library for smaller things like that, and what they do is all these excess books, they have a deal with, I think his name is Tim, and what he does is he posts them online, I don't know, whether Etsy or whatever it is, and they sell them, and he gets 50% of the fee, and the library gets 50% of it. And that's how they sort of compensate somebody to handle all that miscellaneous stuff that you know, who wants to do all the chair stuff. But Barbara has worked out a way to make that happen. And I don't think it's a big money issue, you know, it's 50 cents a book or something like that, but that is one policy, informal, that's in place. It seems to work pretty well, because, you know, people drop off boxes and boxes and boxes of books. This is the way they clear them and bring a little revenue in for the library. Okay, well, that's what I had. You have any?
Quiet. Okay. Anything else? Seeing nothing else, entertain a motion to adjourn? Actually, no. I think there was something else. Motion to,
Mr. Chair, we suggest a non-public session 91A3 2A, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the disciplining of such employee, or the investigation of any charges against him or her, unless the employee affected has 1, had the right to a meeting, and 2, request that the meeting be open, in which case the request shall be granted.
Okay.
motion.
Make a motion to go into non-public.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to go into non-public session.
So
Any
roll
further
call.
discussion?
Do you have to roll call
Roll
that?
call.
It's gonna be a roll call. Jane?
Aye.
AJ?
Okay.
Aye. We will go into non-public session. Do we want to move to? Okay, we're back in public session. Entertain a motion.
To do what?
Seal the minutes
I make a motion to seal the minutes
indefinitely.
indefinitely.
I second.
I've got a motion to seal the minutes indefinitely from the non-public session. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. And with that being said, entertain,
I have one more thing to include, I'm so
That's
sorry.
right.
I neglected during my manager comments just to talk about the bonds for the warrant articles. We have a Summer Street reconstruction award. The goal is to connect two improved sections of water, sewer, drainage, roadway, and sidewalks. The bond will supplement CDS and NBRC grants, so the total project is $3.2 million. The funds awarded, CDS is $3 million, NBRC is $849,000, and we need the match bonded, which is approximately $769,000. The second item is for the water storage tank, which the goal is to build a 500,000 gallon municipal storage tank to provide water to parts of North Road, including Weeks Medical Center. The fund total project is around $3.3 million. Funds awarded at this time are NBRC grant for $50,000 combined with an EDA and a water storage attachment. The EDA is $750,000, so we need the match and difference bonded, which would be funded with a USDA Rural Development direct loan and a grant to be applied for after town meeting by the voters. The third is for the lead service line, the galvanized requiring replacement, which we keep speaking about. The goal is to address lead service lines and galvanized requiring replacement lines to take advantage of loan forgiveness through the state revolving fund loan program. I'm still waiting to understand how much this endeavor will be, but it's a 70% loan forgivesme. So it's beneficial for us to be an early adopter for this while there's still funding available. So these three items we're working, to get this information out.
Okay. Thanks for the update.
Yep.
anything else? Seeing none, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Got a motion to adjourn in a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned, thank you.